YouTube really is something. There are layers to it. You have the surface world, where you'll find channels like Mr. Beast, KSI, or even Cocomelon. Then you can dig a little deeper and you'll find, well, me. But keep on diving down into the darkness, and then you'll find some really weird stuff. Weird, unnerving, existential crisis-inducing stuff. And luckily, I'm going to be sharing some of that with you today. And I'm 99% sure that you haven't seen these anywhere else before. I am working super hard right now to make sure I'm bringing you dark content that you can't find anywhere else. And I want to make Dark YouTube a new series. So let me know if you want more of this down in the comments.
I am surrounded by computer viruses. Please help me. Help me, help me, help me, help me. Please help get out of here. Do not know how long to stay alive.
I want to bring you somewhere that you've never been before. It is a nostalgic place, in a way. But it is also a place that makes me feel something that I don't often feel anymore. So, please come along with me, though I can't guarantee you'll have a good time, into the world of Kent Price. Kent's first video dumps you straight into his world. Posted on June the 9th, 2016, Jungle Wake Up is a 4-minute stop motion, I hope, story. There is no narration, but we see a little monkey waking up a female mannequin, and she is dressed as though she is going to a Renaissance fair later on. The second video is called The Lure of Treasure and Rum, and it seems to show a pirate attempting to seduce another medieval woman. This time she has a cat rather than a monkey. And the following video, entitled Pirate Tavern Dance, shows that, in fact, the pirate was successful in his seduction. The pirate and the woman now dance together. And what follows are 5 more similar videos that all continue to evoke that feeling. And then we get Welcome to Secondhand Studios.
Welcome to Secondhand Studios. I am your host on the tour of Secondhand Studios. My name is Einstein. People gave me this nickname. Our first few videos from stop animation. In time the animation will come short stories. We are seeking out action and adventure. Hope we never put you asleep during the video. Look at me. I age waiting for a part in a video. Other videos are in production for later dates. Y'all come back now, sit back, enjoy the videos.
Secondhand Studios is what Kent Price calls his production company, but it seems much more than that. Kent has created his own world here, but it mixes his stop-motion fantasy worlds with his own life and history. Intertwined throughout the channel, we see his own home movies, capturing vacations and days out. I get the sense that this really is a window into Kent Price's entire history and into his own mind. Kent also seems to enjoy capturing scenes that to many of us would seem mundane, like this 1 hour and 21-minute video of a pond, or this drone footage of his roof. But I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that's something that I fully believe. If this channel is indeed a digital embodiment of Kent's mind, then some of this makes me feel very uneasy. As well as the mannequins, as well as the home movies and shaky drone footage of his own roof, are these spoken word pieces that are pretty philosophical. They're often about regret or the end of life in one way or another. However, they are carried out in the most uncanny of ways. A woman's face that looks like that of a Jane Doe reconstruction jerkily moves and glitches uncontrollably, and the voice that reads them is a primitive text-to-speech program. It just feels eerie. This is an excerpt from one such video entitled Farewell.
Farewell, you are alone in a hospital bed. Your age and health problems, your quality of life that is gone, missing family and friends, pace or always your support, joy of smile and laughter now silent, Your reality life is at an end hours or days before it happened, never to go back home or enjoy the life you had before.
Another channel highlight is Man in Blue Suit.
Man in blue suit. You are walking down path old wood and a suit stood beside it. A man sat outside the house in blue suit. The blue suit 1970s style from past disco and rock and roll. He might wear a tie with the suit out of respect for his faith, each of this man showing his face and hands petting a dog on lap.
And another is Empty Small Room.
Empty small room. Empty small room at the beach. Inside the small wooden room a crazy man and police officer. Why is this crazy man in a small room? What crime was committed? Look, the police officer stared outside window at the beach. The needs of crazy man is not being cared by police officer. Where is the legal moral values, rights and freedom in small room? Only you have the answer from your point of view.
And perhaps the piece de resistance is who is art.
Oh, Art, I have missed you so much. You're so gorgeous with those glasses. Look at that cute nose. Okay. How you doing, Art? You know, I know you're pouting. And I understand that, you know. It's cold. I've been cold ever since I've been here. Is looking at you now. Matt, yes. I think it's tears. Did she bother you? You know your skin's kind of, yeah. You need a little EB5. You need some EB5.
I really hope art is actually an art piece and not the name of a deceased person. Please do go and check out Ken's channel, but I beg of you, please do be respectful of him. The channel holds multiple tributes to close family members, and Kent is very much a real person, but his intent and drive to do what he does, I'm not sure. One thing I do know is I am now ready to leave Kent's world. By the way, this is Dark Case. Join the Dark Case family now by hitting subscribe and turning on notifications. I'm currently aiming for 250,000 subscribers and we are so close. So please just double check that you are subscribed. A super quick thank you to the Inner Circle members over on Patreon. I've also introduced a new $2 tier that gives you access to the Discord server. It's really turning into an amazing community. By supporting on Patreon, you really are helping Dark Case to continue uploading. Something to think about, but no pressure. Now, back down the rabbit hole we go. The YouTube channel Blue Water captured my attention pretty instantly when I was researching for this video. The channel has just 12 videos that, at first glance, appear to be pretty random and obscure. However, upon closer inspection, something is definitely not right. I'm going to divide the videos into two categories. We have the animated videos and we have the real world videos. For now, I'm going to focus on the real world videos in order. All of these uploads have very simple names. In fact, they appear to be the default file names on the camera or phone that the videos are captured on. They all have a few things in common. There is no dialogue at all. They all feature ambient noises of wind, wildlife and the sounds of water running. But these noises somehow set a more disturbing scene than any music could. But the sound is not the issue here. Video 1 sees a camera operator walking down into a man-made canal, river or perhaps a storm runoff. Everything seems pretty normal until they approach an object bobbing in the water. It's vacuum packed and it looks like pale meat. A foot maybe, or maybe a roll of skin. But why is it floating in the water like that? I'm afraid this video holds no answers, so let's move on to the next. Now this one is different. There is no shrink-wrapped stuff, and it took me a few watches to work out the point of this video at all. Do you see it? I think the purpose of this videos is the pink ribbons. I believe they are being used to guide us to a location. And trust me, things don't get any better. The third video is just straight up unsettling. Look at this thing. It appears to be a hand. You can even see the fine wrinkles. But somehow, for some reason, there is a face on it. It looks like it could maybe be printed on a vacuum packaging, or maybe it's some kind of transfer. Let me know what you think this is down in the comments. I think that it's very possible that this is what was at the end of the pink ribbon trail. Also worth noting is when we catch a glimpse of the person filming's wrist, notice how bruised it is. Was there perhaps a struggle? And the fourth video, I'm afraid, doesn't get any better. Another vacuum pack is picked up from the river. We see another face, and what appears to be black hair on top of this chunk. What's up with blue water? What have they done? Video 5 sees a total of 4 vacuum-packed pale meat skin pieces floating in the river. Video 6 shows the same 4 packages, 2 hands with faces, the chunk with hair, and the foot or skin roll. And video 7 is very similar to video 6. Let's talk very briefly about the other animated videos. They all do have a similar theme in that water is present, and the graphic design does make the body look disconnected, but they don't hold a candle to the main videos. Discussions on platforms like Reddit have amplified the intrigue surrounding this channel. In a thread entitled, "I'm pretty sure I just found a serial killer's channel," users delved into the possible implications of the content. While some believe the videos might be an elaborate art project, or maybe an alternate reality game, also called an ARG, others fear that they could be evidence of real-life crimes. DinoBob26 said, "For those saying that is a mannequin hand, there's an unsettling amount of detailed hand fold lines on the hand. Either it's a very realistic looking mannequin hand or hand mold, or that's a real hand." And honestly, DinoBob, I agree. Username Out of Step Films added, "Yeah, if it's not an art project, it looks like a bloated, decaying hand with a photo overlaid, vacuum sealed and placed in water. Creepy. It fits for OP's serial killer theory, or for an art project, or both." The ambiguity of the channel has led to various theories. Is this interactive storytelling designed to engage viewers in unraveling a hidden narrative? Are they baiting channels like mine to give them exposure? And of course, there is a possibility that this is a documentation of crimes. Blue water could indeed be a serial killer. It is possible. At the least, this is just weird. But at the most, we have just witnessed something truly awful. What do you think? Let me know down below. Sleep. It's supposed to be a natural function, a break from the waking world, so we can process and repair. We lie down, close our eyes, and surrender to the abyss of unconsciousness. Although I admit that takes me longer and longer these days. But what if that process never came at all? What if no matter how tired, no matter how desperate, sleep simply refused to come? If this happened to you, your mind would start to slip, reality would distort, time would lose all meaning, you would see things that aren't there, you'd hear voices whispering in the dark, your body would ache, your thoughts would shatter, and every second of wakefulness would feel like a slow, painful death. Now imagine that nightmare stretching out for weeks, months, or years. But this isn't fiction. It really does happen. And in 2016, it happened to a YouTuber named Ricard Siajin. His story is one of pain, paranoia, and an agonizing decline into madness. And worst of all, he could see it coming. He even begged for help, but it seemed that no one could save him. Before his slow descent into oblivion, Ricard was just a normal guy, He was a tattoo artist from Indonesia, and he was passionate about his craft. He had spent years perfecting his work, sharing his journey on YouTube. Doing so, he could connect with a small audience who loved body art as much as he did. His channel was small but steady, a collection of vlogs, tattoo showcases, and a behind-the-scenes look at a traditional tattoo artist. There was nothing particularly strange about his channel, just a man doing what he loved. But that was before everything changed. Documented on his channel, Ricard becomes a father. He captures special moments with his son. In fact, we see him go from a baby to a little boy before our very eyes. But sadly, this is just one more element that adds another layer of tragedy to Ricard's story. In 2015, Ricard fell ill with a UTI. It wasn't anything life-threatening, it just seemed to be a painful inconvenience. So he got some antibiotics, and like most people do, he took them without question. At first, everything seemed fine. The infection cleared up. But then, something else started. Ricard could no longer sleep. I'm not talking about difficulty falling asleep. He wasn't just having restless nights. This was something much more serious. Days passed, then weeks. Still, Ricard could get no sleep. His body started breaking down. Simple tasks became impossible. His memory blurred. He was losing control. It seems his doctors simply dismissed him, putting it down to stress, maybe anxiety. They prescribed him more and more medications, but nothing worked. His family didn't seem to understand what he was going through, and frankly, how could they? As his condition worsened, Ricard turned to YouTube. His once normal channel became something else entirely. It was now a permanent digital record of a man falling apart both physically and mentally. In his final videos, he no longer looks like himself. His eyes are hollow, his voice is shaky, his face is gaunt and exhausted. He is awake, always awake, and he is begging for help. He pleads with doctors, with viewers, with anyone who will listen. I need sleep. Why won't they help me? I can't take this anymore. He knew something was terribly wrong, and in one of the most chilling moments of his last recordings, he seemed to predict his own fate. He says, "If this continues, I will die." As the sleepless nights stretched into months, his thoughts became disjointed and paranoid. He spoke of visions, of strange figures, of a world that didn't feel real any longer. With his organs failing and muscles wasting, he could barely function anymore. He knew what was coming. He posted a video on the 4th of December 2016, and then his post stopped. On December the 9th, 2016, Ricard had lost his battle. Officially, his cause of death was fatal insomnia, a rare condition where the brain loses the ability to regulate sleep. But did all of this happen because of the UTI? Was it because of the antibiotics? Was it genetic? Or simply bad luck? Frankly, I don't think we will ever know. Ricard's channel still sits there today. His videos remain untouched. A man who lived a full life, but then suffered, begging for help that never came. And now he sleeps. What would you say if I told you that that video actually holds a dark secret? You will never be able to look at it the same way again when I share with you just what happened next. The man in the video is Makoto Afuji, but he likes to go by Mark. Mark is an actor and a pretty successful one at that. Just take a look at his resume here. That is a lot of parts. He really has been a busy guy. He might not be a leading man that you see on billboards as you drive to work, but you can't deny just how much work he's packed in there. Mark knew what he wanted and he was willing to do anything to make it work. In June of 2012, he even auditioned on stage at America's Got Talent. He proudly stated, When I do impersonations of celebrities, people are amazed. He also revealed that alongside his comedy and acting, he worked as a massage therapist. So yeah, he was a really hard-working guy. However, Mark was not destined to make it through this route. The crowd didn't seem to like him, and they certainly weren't laughing for the right reasons. All of the judges pushed their buzzers, so that dream, at least, was over. Mark continued to work as an actor, but a new opportunity raised its head too. He took to YouTube, where he could have the limelight whenever he wanted and for as long as he wanted. There were no producers telling him what to do, no judges with their hands hovering over buttons. In fact, there was no one to tell him no. His videos became a fascination for a small but devoted group of viewers. Some did see him as a kind of lost comedy genius, an entertainer that was perhaps ahead of his time. Others obviously just didn't get him, but that's the name of the game. In the end though, it didn't matter what people thought or what they said, because Mark Afuji was never going to stop pursuing his dream. On the 30th of June 2017, 5 years post America's Got Talent, Mark posted the video that we watched together just a few minutes ago. On August the 4th, 2017, someone driving along Angeles Crest Highway, a long winding road cutting through the mountains of Southern California, noticed something strange just off the road. It was a motorcycle, partially hidden by the trees below. The bike was banged up, broken, and at first glance it looked abandoned. Montrose search and rescue personnel were called to investigate. They were expecting to find an old wreck, maybe the result of a joyride, and probably a vehicle that someone had left behind many years ago. But as they moved closer in, their discovery took a darker turn. 600 feet down the rocky slope, something was lying in the underbrush. This wasn't just a crash site, it was in fact a grave. The search team radioed for backup. Remains had been found, but no one knew who the body belonged to, nor how long it had been there. But very soon they would have an answer. Days later, the Los Angeles County Department coroner could now confirm the identity of the man who had been lost on the mountainside. His name was Mark Afuji. He had been laying there since just 5 days after he uploaded his Kramer video. The finality of death is undeniable. A body is found, a name is given, and another case is closed. But Mark isn't really gone. His channel is still there. His face is frozen in his thumbnails. He stares out at the viewer. His videos still play. His voice still speaks from the screen. A man who no longer exists, but continues to perform. I find this really quite eerie. Just how many other channels are there on this platform that continue to live on, whilst their owners don't?